Welcome to Flesh and Pod, a flesh and blood podcast, breaking down weekly news and notes from the tournament scene, community drama, game strategy, and more. And now, here are your hosts, Darick and Logan.
Are you going to do it? Okay. Hello, and welcome to episode 219 of Flesh and Pod. My name's Logan. I'm your host. And with me, as always, is... Who are you today again? It ain't easy being sneezy. Darick Oswald.
Yeah, I'm struggling.
Yeah, you're on the bus, buddy.
I am on the bus.
That'll do. But a little sneeze isn't going to get in the way of delivering 219 weeks in a row of hot-blooded fab content, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how to say any of this shit. But at any rate, did you do anything in Flesh and Blood? I highly doubt it.
No.
You were co-streaming Riftbound.
Right.
And then doing the Riftbound pre-release stuff.
Right.
And I went and played Armory. And this time I was like, yeah, I'm just going to play this janky-ass Syndra build that I have. And then went 3-0. Okay. Syndra's still good. But that'll switch to Fi next week, probably. If I'm still doing up to that nonsense. Mainly because Compendium will be released on Friday. Oh, wait. Armory be on Valentine's Day. Don't think I'm getting away with that one. Regardless. But yeah, so Calling London happened.
It did.
Sadly, neither of us were there. But Ian Holland was sending me pictures of the crew eating at Dishoom and making me very sad that I wasn't at Dishoom with the Irish crew. So,
yeah.
Thanks, Ian, for...
Ian, get us citizenship and we'll go next time.
Yeah, well, easy. You get us Irish citizenship, we're out of here. But Calling London, Silver Age Calling, world premiere happened. Lots of interesting things. First off, Calling London champion Paul Van Giesel again.
Yeah.
The heater is real. He is just running through people. One on Briar. Finals was a fun one because it was Decimator Dory against Briar, and some of the most like aggro player nonsense, as was pointed out by a friend of ours in Discord, who just showed a picture. He's like, this is the most aggro behavior, period, as it showed the Decimator Dory player agonizing over blocks on a 10 go again, and there's Paul just casually slamming his energy drink as he's just waiting for his opponent. It's like, yep. Yeah. And a whole lot of Paul saying, yeah, send the bill, fuck it, I don't care. I think the first attack was for 11. He's like, yeah, sure, I'll go to 9. It's cool.
Yeah.
No, it was for 9. It was felling swing plus axe for 9. He's like, yeah, that's cool. That's fine. Just send me the bill. And I just thought that is some aggro behavior. And congratulations to Paul for winning the first Silver Age calling. So Silver Age competitive, comp REL event or pro REL event, period. So congratulations. Top 8 in this one. Pretty diverse. You have only the one Briar.
Which is wild.
Little bit, considering how represented Briar was in the room. Matthew Folks was 9th place playing it, so just short of getting another one in. 2 Dorinthia, which I think all of the Warriors were great axes, if I remember correctly, because there was also an Olympia.
Yeah, I saw that there were some complaints popping up amongst Warrior players about Silver Age right now, and they were like, right now it feels like all the Warriors are the same, just with different skins. Like somebody
pretty much
said it's all Decimator or whatever, so they're all just Warriors with different skins.
It's all cosplaying Guardian. Yeah. You had 2 KO. So this would be just KO, like heavy hitters KO. And again, the Olympia, 1 Bravo Flattering Showman, and 1 Olden. So good representation in the top 8. Lots of fair is not the word. I mean, I don't know that fair is the word I would use, but a lot of attacking and blocking decks.
Yeah.
And
which
I think
that's what you're going to expect a lot in Silver Age right now, at least this iteration. I will say,
well,
listen, there is the capability to do other things, and so that's what I was going to say is like, I think that things are far from solved, and the what we see now might not be what we're seeing, a couple months from now, but the safest bet at a first event like this is to just like believe in your deck and believe in strong fundamentals. And I also think that because things are so unrefined, I mean, yes, people have had a long time to test for things and whatever. It's not like this came out of nowhere, but it's not like a truly set in stone format. And so with that in mind, your consistent decks, at least early on in the life of any meta, almost always perform the best they're ever going to perform at those first couple of events until people figure out kind of how to game plan around it, right? So seeing a lot of, as you described, just attacking and blocking decks does not surprise me, because that's really consistent and really good in a powered down format. If you can't do, whatever your cool play is consistently, then just make big numbers go over.
Let's talk about the first ever showdown then, which also happened in London.
Yeah.
Won by Jacob Clements on Kano in a Kano mirror in the finals.
Yep. This top 8 cracked me up because at first when I was glancing at it, I didn't see it listed out. I just saw like somebody was like listing the heroes, and I swear to God I thought it said 4 Kanos because I just was,
because 2 Kano, 2 KO.
Because I was just skimming, right, and I was like, man, was that really 4 Kanos? And I had to go back 1 letter off.
Yep. So top 8, 2 Kano met in the finals, 2 KOs, 2 Briar, Dark Odious on Enigma, because Noah doesn't know anything but Illusionist apparently, and the 1 Phi in the room. That's different than what we saw in the calling top 8, especially in the Kano slot where, okay, here are 2 Kanos and an Enigma playing some unfair games. And I mean, Briar does too for that matter, but it's I looked at these results.
That's my working theory. Obviously I wasn't there, but if I had to guess, I would say that a fair number of the Briars that would have preyed upon them were probably still playing day 2.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Because I know we only had the 1 in the top 8, but there were a lot. Like the conversion rate from day 1 to day 2 was still enough that, like, even if the Briar, and I think it did, even if the Briar representation cuts in half, it was so much of day 1's like market share to begin with that like it was still very well represented in day 2, and so.
Yeah, and for those of you that don't know, Kano does not start at 20 health.
No.
It starts at 15.
And Enigma historically is not a huge fan of split damage.
Not a big fan. No.
So
you can just race that deck and say, all right, give me your best shot. Is that what you got? All right, well, here's what I have. And eventually they start to whittle you a little bit once they get transformed or transcended for the first time, and then are able to start activating their cloaked equipment. It does start to feel like, oh, maybe they do have enough to get out from under this, and then the answer just usually is no, they don't.
Yeah.
So,
and that's so far. Just wait until I get my hands on Mist. I'm so looking forward to just taking away.
You just want to
de-cheese
somebody's fucking deck.
I just want to de-cheese somebody.
Oh my God, you're a toxic human being. It's like, I'm doing you a favor. This way, all the cheese out of your deck, so you know which ones to flip back into their sleeves. I'm helping. That's what you're going to tell them.
I'm just thinning out your deck from the no blocks. Really, this is to benefit you.
Oh yeah, you're just going to draw cards that block now.
Right.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Nothing can possibly go wrong from here. So we both watched enough of the calling, I believe, to kind of get a first impression of Silver Age as a format. My first impression is fun. It looks fun.
Yeah, it looks... So my first impression, after I did, like, I watched some games, I did some reflecting, and I realized, like, I understand now why they ultimately decided to do away with Blitz. Because when I was thinking about it in my head, I was like, I feel like this is the format Blitz always wanted to be. And what I mean by that is, like, something that is smaller in scale. It's not just about like the heroes having less health and whatever. It's just like it's Flesh and Blood scaled down so it can be both approachable for new players, but also, you know, entrenched players can still be very good at the game, obviously, and find the nuance in it. But it felt like Flesh and Blood scaled down, and I feel like that's what Blitz was always kind of supposed to be. And instead, you know, as the game moved on, we got to a point where Blitz was really like, you know, who can oops I win faster most of the time.
Yeah, I think that was the big takeaway from me was, compared to Blitz, games in Silver Age actually have a progression.
Right.
They're games. It's not I drew the Majestic that throws this game completely on its axis because they're 20 health heroes, and that's it. That doesn't exist here. And honestly, in older iterations of Blitz, that was how Blitz played. Blitz was not an oops I win format all of the time. Sometimes it was. Looking at you, Viserai, when Bloodsheath was legal.
I was going to say Rhinar was always the problem, unfortunately.
Rhinar was a big issue.
It was one of those things that progressively got worse, but I remember when I was very first getting into the game, and it would be like Blitz night at the local armory, people would still joke about, quote unquote, getting Reinhard, you know? Mm-hmm. And so, like, if it's already being used as a verb, like, that's a problem.
I mean, I played Kasai, like Centauri Sellsword, and even back then, without Grains of Blood Spill, without, you know, the litany of headpieces that exist now, still was a fucking fridge. You blocked off equipment for days and did it real well. So if they intim 2 cards and send something big, still can cover it. And those were, so Rhinar was winnable from that spot. The thing I liked about that era of Blitz was that you just had to have game plans, and that was good enough. If you had a game plan, you had a way to win against virtually anything. But then it just turned into, here's 75 arcane damage. And it's like, well, okay. Or I'm just going to Earth Ice react, you know, for the next, 12 turns. Or, you know, it just on and on and on and on. And eventually just turned into there's just a spot in a Blitz game where it stops progressing and it just becomes either a foregone conclusion or somebody gets their face melted off immediately. So that's not a good format. But here,
no, not so much.
And so here in Silver Age, the game that I want people to go back and watch, because it's actually more interesting than it sounds, there was a Benji v. Briar game. And the Benji did end up winning day 2, making day 2, but this is in like round...
I was going to say, this was day 1,
8 or
right?
9. Yeah, this is round 8 or 9.
Okay, yeah.
And the Benji player actually has the game won, but they miss 2 Benji triggers. And the Briar lives at 2, and then ultimately is able to force enough through to kill the Benji. But the back and forth in that game is, these are 2 decks that people are like, these are 2 brain dead aggro heroes. And that is not how the game played. The game had a lot of tension, and it had progression.
You made the heroes that don't want to block have to think about blocking.
Right. And that's interesting.
Math is for blockers.
Right. And the Briar player realized at a point, I can't, if he gives me an opportunity to block, I do need to block. Because most of the time I don't have an opportunity to block. Because Benji's text. So, shit, what am I going to do? So I thought that was, I think, my favorite game to watch. Ultimately, like I said, it came down to some mistakes that sort of decided the game, or at least made it wildly, or not wildly, but put it in favor of the Briar player. Because basically, we're at 1-1. If Benji and both Sigils of Suffering are gone, I believe. So if Benji just has the ability to play an attack for 1, it's an auto win. Like, keep 1 card.
Right.
And just wasn't able to. But if they were able to strip another card from the Briar player, chances are they would have been able to. So it's stuff like that those great moments of tension and progression through a game of Flesh and Blood, I think, is ultimately what makes current Silver Age better than what would be current Blitz. Again, to all the Blitz lovers out there, and I know who you are, I too was a Blitz lover back in the Kasai Centauri Sellsword days. But I mean, it got degenerate because the card pool got too big. And cards were designed for 40 health. This seems stripped back in a very meaningful way, and I think that it's really, really good from what I've seen so far.
Right.
Let's move on. We'll have more Silver Age discussion down in the listener questions because reasons. But now Compendium's out in the wild. We've seen all of it. We know what's in the packs. This shit is pretty fucking cool. And we already knew about sort of what I would call the top end of the Antiquities packs. We knew about the Fableds that are in there and the Legendaries that are in there, and then like the CNC and the Shelter. But
what else?
There's a bunch of stuff in there that's like, including effectively the entire Ira deck. But
yeah, I think the only ones that I remember knowing about the Amnesia ahead of time and the Cut Through the Facade, but like as far as some of the other Majestics go, I don't remember seeing Ripple Away
or Censor,
Midas Touch,
Tenacity, Midas Touch.
Yeah,
that all you got. Hold Line, Gorganian Tome.
I was gonna say Gorganian Tome is the one that I'm most excited about.
That's it. That comes in cold foil. Like, I have to get a cold foil Gorganian Tome.
Right.
Maybe 2 for the one for the cube, but things like Premeditate, This Round's on Me, Truce is a great one. Looking for Scrap, Ravenous Rabbles, yet another version of Pummel. I don't think that's necessary.
Yes, it is. The more times you print it, the more people will convert to the Church of Pummel.
I don't think that's true. Call to the Grave, another good one.
Yeah.
So it just sort of turned into this list of bangers. Like if you're picking out the I have questions cards out of here, it's stuff like Rusted Relic, because there's a reason, but
So hear me out. I like that they reprinted that because I think that's one of those cards that people forget exists and is something where, depending on the matchup, like I feel like there's an argument to be made where perhaps we undervalue this, maybe like as a community as a whole, in metas where Arcane is very prevalent. I don't think we're in that spot right now, but like in the past, there are definitely times where I think to myself, I maybe should have been considering this in like old Bravo lists or whatever, because it's still a blue, and against Kano, I'm not blocking anyway, so the blue block 3 doesn't matter.
So for people that don't know, Rusted Relic is a blue 0-cost generic action item, does not block, does not have Go Again. It's just Arcane Barrier 1. That is the text. So it's as simple as you think it is.
It is as simple as you think it is, but so again, just thinking about that Bravo scenario, right? In those early metas, I remember I was like playing AB3, but I remember there were sometimes, positions where I know I had dud cards for certain matchups, especially when you start thinking about cards like Unmovable and whatever, right?
Oh,
and
sure.
I'm just like, man, if I had have like considered Relic at different times, it's like, it also is one of those things, I don't even think you have to bring it every time, but it's fantastic on turn 0.
It's great on turn 0. That's about the only time that it's great, but it is great on turn 0. I understand
I'm trying
why
to
it's
make
there.
the argument here.
Like I said, I understand why it's there, but there's some things where it's like Fiddler's Green. We have microtext EAs from gem packs already. Scar for Scars. We just got, we have Yokohama Scar for Scars coming up. Snatches. We just had, promo snatches recently. We've had multiple promo pummels. Fate for Scene. There is a promo Fate for Scene, but this one, I mean, it was a very hard to get promo Fate for Scene. So this kind of fills a little bit of a different role there. Sink Below, there's 100 different Sink Belows. Oasis Respite, there's again a very nice promo for Oasis Respite already. So some of these feel like a little bit of, we didn't really need this, but some of these are just absolute delights.
I do wonder what the lead time differentiation is, though, between like when stuff for a set has to be locked in and sent to a printer versus the promos that you're queuing up for events. Because you're right, there are some like decent promo alternatives, but I'm wondering if like when the set was originally thought of, right? Because I like Fate for Scene, like just imagine that this is going to be like your Sage set, and we don't have the like band list that we currently have today. If you were just going to say like, hey, what are some really iconic commons and rares that you think should be included? A lot of these make sense.
It's a who's who list,
right?
Yeah. I'm kind of sad Exude Confidence isn't in there.
Yeah, but that's had
a promo.
But that's also like, that is a Majestic, but you're right, it's never had a promo. I don't know. For me, the one that jumps out is Plunder Run.
Yeah, I think that one's caught enough strays getting banned in formats that probably tilted it.
Yeah, probably.
We also do have the list of Marvel. They're all Marvels. They're all young heroes. The Marvel and Antiquity pack is a full art Enlightened Strike, and by George, it is very pretty.
I've been saying for a long time, whenever it came up, like, what's the card that you would want to get a Marvel treatment? My answer was always Enlightened Strike. Now, granted, this is the new art.
This
and
is the
I
plunger
have
art.
always said, like, I think OG art would be fantastic. I also really like the new art. I know you call it Plunger Strike, but I like the new art too. I think that the original art was iconic, and I love the rainbow in it. Like, yes, this one has a rainbow, but it's like, it's kind of smaller and in the corner. It's not like the full arcing one that's in the OG, but I've always said Enlightened Strike I wanted as like full art Marvel treatment. So I'm happy we got it.
And for everything for all kind of the shit I talk about it's still pretty. It just definitely has that kind of look to it that it's like, okay, there's some funny to this. Yeah. But I do like how they look.
I think he's just rowing crew personally.
He could be rowing crew. Yep. Could be in a boat. But the Marvels are all young heroes. And young heroes that did not previously have Marvels. So you have Rhinar, Benji the Piercing Wind, Kasai Centauri Sellsword, thanks Wallet. Dash Database and Dash. Teklevasan, Azalea, Riptide, Kano, Prism. Why? There are so many various Prism promos, Marvels, etc. She doesn't need more.
Main character.
Yeah, main character energy. Chain, RIP. Oldhim, Lexi, Dromai, and Phi. Note on Chain, cleared up by Brian Gottlieb for anybody that was misunderstanding this. When a character is benched for a season, they are not eligible to be benched the next season.
Right.
So chain will be back.
Yeah, at some point, it'll be a thing, right? It's one on, one off. This just buys them the time to figure out how to make it acceptable.
Yeah. Now I will say that homerism aside, because I mean the Kasai is absolutely stunning. The next on my list is actually the chain with the bodies and shit hanging in the background.
Yeah.
And the sort of emaciated Jack White as a cult figure look. I'm kind of down for it.
Yeah, I think if I had to pick like my favorite of these young arts, and it really hurts for me to say this, so I want you to know that, but the Kano looks cool. With the Marvel
Kano
and actually seeing
sick.
The like flame dragon thing and the full shebang, like the Kano looks really cool.
I also just love the Azalea. Because it's just chilling at a bar, you know?
Yeah.
Pretty happy with that one. Benji looks gorgeous.
Yeah, both Rachels are fantastic.
Yeah, both Rachels are fantastic. The one is just Rachel in her workshop. The other one is Rachel at an event.
I was just going to say, for me, it's Rachel in cosplay and Rachel out of cosplay. Right.
If she's listening, then she's like, you fucks. And so it's like, yeah, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I think I like the Kano, and then after that, the other one that I really like is Lexi.
The Lexi's okay to me, but it has the Let's Go kid in full glory.
That's why.
And so
I was just going to say, I like it because I love Santa's little helper back there.
Yeah,
being
Let's Go
so
kid.
Excited.
Yeah, he is the most precious thing on a card.
Oh my gosh, it just clicked for me because I'm pretty sure it's bald. Pretty sure it's a bald little kid. That's Caillou. That's my new head
fucking
canon.
hate Caillou though.
That's my new head
Caillou's the worst.
Right, that's why it's even better. That's Caillou. Caillou Lexi is now a thing.
I hate Caillou. What?
Let me see this
just
bigger.
The dirt worst.
Oh yeah, that's totally Caillou, dude.
Oh, come on, man. Why you gotta ruin it?
You have Caillou. You have the Starks on the right from Game of Thrones.
You definitely have one of the Starks at least. Looks like maybe a Lannister. You have Robert Baratheon on the left there.
Right.
Yeah.
Honestly, maybe that's what it was supposed to be. Maybe that is like on the left, it could be Robert, Cersei, and Tyrion, just with a shaved head. And then you've got the
too
Starks
short for
on
Tyrion. But I get it. The brutality of the Rhinar is actually pretty cool too. It doesn't have a ton going on. You know, we already kind of knew what Riptide's art was. Well, same with Oldham. Dromai's to me is not. I mean, I just don't enjoy it that much. But
I will say, going like full art though with the Oldham, you do get to see more of the creatures that he's actually like
smashing the shit out of.
Yeah, it was always so small before.
No, you can see it's a real thing.
But yeah, I mean, it kills me. But the Kano, I think, is my favorite.
It is really good. It is really good. My favorite is the Kasai, but again, I understand it's a homer pick. I'm not saying that it's the best. It's just my favorite. Moving on, tournament packs. We kind of discussed this a minute ago. We don't know what the full list of cards is, but we've seen quite a number of them. Basically, you open a tournament pack and you get a puzzle piece, a cold foil puzzle piece, I believe, as well as a Marvel. That could be a lot of things. I don't think we've seen the exhaustive list. We know so far that Emeritus Scalding, Flick Flack, Zipper Hit are all in. Wild Ride is one of them. That thing looks insane.
I mean, I know that my wallet is going to be shredded.
By Shred?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Warriors
I know that's
Valor.
a homer pick, but also like that looks outstanding.
It is. It honest to God, staunch response as well. But the Shred, honest to God, looks like the DVD cover of a horror movie. It's like
special edition Hellraiser.
Yeah, right. Exactly. and it is so cool looking. That is going to injure your wallet. You are correct. We were having a discussion with my buddy Josh when all the Antiquities frames came out, and he's like, "This is like my entire Ira deck. Like the only things that are safe are the blue Zero Ninja attacks and Flick Flack." And then this happened.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Fuck!" It's like, yeah, those aren't going to be free. That's for sure. So oh, this just in. If you want a Decimator Great Axe, they're expensive now. Just gonna put that out there.
Are they? Like how much did they jump?
Ooh, let's play the game. Let's play my favorite game. All right. Decimator Great Axe. We're going to go with the standard issue non-cold foil.
Right. I was just thinking
it was
probably
$1 as of February, as of today.
I would have guessed that they were like $4 or $5 before, so even that's already cheaper.
What's the cheapest available on TCG Player right now?
$13.
15.
Oh, I was close with that going over.
None have sold at that. Cold foils, cheapest one available from a rated seller. $29.50.
All right, I'm getting better.
You're pretty spot on. You're getting much better
at this. For somebody who never looks at prices.
Right.
I'm getting better.
These aren't real prices either. So I would say that
TCG
somebody bought out
whose line is it anyway of buying cards?
Right.
Because
somebody bought out everything.
And the prices don't matter.
Somebody bought out everything that was under, $2 or $3 or whatever it was. And so now your cheapest one sits at 15, but they're not that hard to find. They're not, oddly enough, they're not Titan's Fists, which is incredible that the number of times I get asked, do you have a Titan's Fist? And it's like, you need a cold foil? No, the token Titan's Fist. Yes. How many do you need? You know that like they're not worth nothing. What? And yeah, turns out I have a ton of them because I played a lot of Aria.
Yeah,
so
me too. I have literally like a 4-row box back there of
tokens.
Yeah,
I have like an entire box that's sitting right over there that are nothing but tokens from WTR through Aria.
Same.
So,
and I have more. Here's the thing: I have more from Aria than any other set. I opened more like sealed product of Aria than any other, and I was back then was still pretty new, so I was like pack writing everything. Mm-hmm. But I opened like 2.5 cases of first edition Aria, and that's not counting all of the sealed events and stuff that I played in.
Yeah,
so
that's about the same for me. And like the cold foil Titan's Fists are like $53, which is insane.
That's crazy. I kind of wish that they wouldn't have went so hard on the new art for some of the Legends and Fables.
They did go pretty hard on some of them.
Because like I'm looking at some of these and I'm like yeah, I own versions of these already, but I kind of want one of these blingy ones.
Well, I think so. If I'm giving I've done my art opinion on a different show that I did with Geeks First last week, but we kind of went through a lot of the arts that existed and gave our opinions of which one we prefer. I think of the new arts, the Heart of Fyendal is I prefer the new one.
I think I prefer both the heart and the eye.
I think I'm agnostic on the eye, like pretty indifferent. It just, they are so close to each other.
They are close, but I really like that it looks more like it's in a sacred space. Like there's the statues and stuff, and you can see it's very clearly hanging on something.
I do not like, the riches, not because of the the over sexualized pictures that a lot of people have chimed in on. I don't like the scale.
I don't like that they made it look huge.
Right. It's a gem. It's an amulet. Yeah.
I mean, maybe those are, I guess, small statues, but I just always
perspective doesn't work on that.
I'm kind of with you on that. I'll be honest. I love the new Stonewall Gauntlet?
I do. So it's the same. It's funny because it is like basically the same gauntlet, just with a fist instead of the hand open. But just a lot more fire.
A lot more fire. I like the tapestry thing in the back.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, it's the same thing like with the tunic, right? Like tunic's still really kind of the same, but I
don't like the new one.
Oh, I do. I like the new one a lot.
I don't. This is just it looks, to me, it looks too smooth. It looks it's like almost an uncanny valley type of feel.
See, it's
when
funny.
I look at
That's
it.
the reason I like it, because so our last show I had talked about how I am sometimes a sucker for what I feel like is good motion in art. And so when I look at this with the hair out, and especially the hair on the left side of the art being kind of blurry, you can see the dress like whirling around on the bottom. To me, this is very clearly like somebody spinning in the dress as opposed to just a static shot. And so I just like this more.
I mean, it also kind of just looks like a Riftbound card, so that makes sense.
Yeah, sure.
I do not like the quick dodge flexors at all. I'm already well documented on that.
I don't want to play against him as an assassin. I don't want you to have more D-reacts, so I don't like him on principle.
I don't like the balance of justice. I think the original looks better. I like, again, and a lot of that is, again, that same type of thing where this looks too smooth to me. I like the other one because it has like a more weathered sort of art style that's more intricate, more detailed.
I would say I'm agnostic on the balance. I like the crown. I like the Crown of Providence.
See, I don't. I like the original Crown of Providence.
I like this one because I like that it is stylized and, I don't know, just different. Like, I just appreciate that they didn't come kind of like even close to the old one with this one. Like that this one is very different.
The thing about the thing about the Command and Conquer. So again, I don't know that I have a personal preference, but I do like that they went completely off book on this one.
I really like the new Command and Conquer too,
because the original, like the Command and Conquers before, were pretty like, I guess, human, right? It was a dude and an army, and this is now a demon and an army of demons crossing a planar bridge with an eclipse to attack the scale of this one.
Yeah.
This was a wild swing to me, because this version of Command and Conquer is more targeted to a specific player. And that's interesting that they made that choice to me. I'm very much here for it. But overall, yeah, I was super stunned by how a lot of these, I thought they would look kind of Hearthstone-y, and I think a lot of that was the tunic.
I think I'm going to say I'm agnostic on the shelter. I like the new one, but the reality is, like, they both have birds, and I'm a big fan of bird, so I'm fine either way.
Yeah, there's bird. Yeah. I'm pretty indifferent, honestly. The shelter's fine.
Shelter's fine.
If
I like the Command and Conquer, I like the Stonewall, I like the tunic, I like both the fables, I like the crown.
Now I will pretty much use the Antiquities pack cards for my cubes, because that way I know, like, if I see an Antiquities version just like hanging out somewhere, I'm like, oh, I must have taken that out of a cube at some point.
Sure. I mean, but you say that, but like, how many rusted relics do you need for your cube?
None.
Oh, well.
The answer is 0. Yeah. But how many Scar for Scars, Ravenous Rabbles, Censors, Weakest Links,
or are you just going to buy those separate? I was implying you're just going to open.
Oh, Rusted Relic? No, 100% true. I plan on buying the things I need, because I know that as I open these packs, they will invariably contain.
I was just thinking,
rusted
like,
relics.
if you were going to be opening, I'll say 3 right now, I would put money on you would get Rusted Relic, Call to the Grave, and
there's 2 cards per pack,
and Remembrance. There's 2? I thought it was
there's
just
2
one
cards per pack.
And then the feet.
No. There is...
Oh, that's right. Tournament pack is the one in the feet.
Right. Which, again, feet.
Right.
But... or
I know that it is more than that, but anytime I see the puzzle piece cards, I just think about all the people that are like, how much for the fee? It's
right.
so dumb.
Right. And then now you have... Because one of the puzzle cards is the new Art of Riches of Tropeldani, and so they did isolate the boobs. And I'm like, of course they did. Why wouldn't they? But yeah, so you have, because like James opened one on stream, which was something plus Eye of Ophidia, because obviously James is going to open an Eye of Ophidia. I guess it's your game, I guess. But I forgot to actually have this ready to go because I was unprepared. But there was a rules reprise. To sort of go over some of the new and exciting, not changes, but interactions. Normally we'd have Josh Scott for this, but he has asked for a reprieve due to his travel schedule over the course of, I guess, the last bit. So he'll be back. Don't worry about it. But we're going to have to do this without knowing, what we're doing. So, first up, may I choose the order of damage being dealt with Glyph Destruction nodes. Glyph Destruction nodes say, deal 3 arcane damage to up to X target heroes or allies, or X to the number of aura permanents you control, sigil, and their name. So, you get to choose the order that damage is dealt.
Right.
That's it.
Because you're the active player.
Yep.
Also, I'm glad I remember reading this rules reprise. I was wondering, I was like, wait, did I read that? But
hey, you did it. I'm proud of you.
I did the thing. I did my homework.
Is triggering concealed nerve gas pathogen sedative optional? Yes. These trigger effects are optional. So because cloaked equipment is face down and your opponent does have knowledge of them, effectively you don't have to flip them until you choose to, with a valid trigger. So there you go. Can I fuse with Colors of Aria? No, you cannot fuse with Colors of Aria. It does not, while it is in your hand, it does not.
Right.
It does not have the earth, ice, and lightning types.
Right. That's the one where, like, when it's face up, it has
in any zone. It has all of them.
But it's not in your hand is like not a zone, but also even if you were to reveal it, you have to have the properties to make the reveal.
In your
and since
hand.
It doesn't when it's private information. Yeah,
Yep.
I remember now. Yep.
However, it does trigger lightning and earth, ice, lightning bond, earth, ice, lightning flow, decompose, Lexi's ability, because Lexi's ability is flip a card in your arsenal. If it's, then the thing happens.
Right.
Ella Strike. You can banish a card from your hand, so you banish the card, and then Ella Strike checks to see at that point if it's earth, ice, or lightning. And so when it checks the card, it sees that it's all of them and gives it all the bonuses. I think that's all they kind of brought up in this case. Does Inflame the Firebrand get +2 power with 2 other draconic and 1 non-draconic chain link? I thought this was interesting. So the answer is no. The effect from the Inflame the Firebrand that turns chain links draconic does not immediately reevaluates how many draconic chain links you control to get its third effect. So if you basically what it is Inflame the Firebrand, the 0 cost, 2 attack, 3 block. When this attacks, you control 2 or more draconic chain links, it gets go again. 3 or more of your attacks are draconic, this combat chain. 4 or more, this gets +2, but it doesn't see retroactively that you have draconic chain links prior.
Right.
Because they're not attacks at that point, so those chain links are, because they're chain links now, they're resolved. When I play Become the Cup. Become the Cup is the head jab, that is choose a color, gets the chosen color. Does it still count as red card being played? Yes. It becomes the color in addition to its original color.
But also, it's literally when you play Become the Cup, you make the choice. Mm-hmm. And so a red card has been played for you to make the choice. But yes, you are correct. It is also the other color in addition to.
Right. So if you are, let's say, playing Zen and you play Become the Cup, make it blue, and then play an Inner Chi, it would transcend. But it also would be a red card to satisfy the conditions of display loyalty. So it would serve both.
Right.
Also funny with Blanche, because you can just play it, and then it gains the color. So while it was no color because you got hit by Blanche prior, you'd still gain the color that you chose to gain with it. So that's pretty funny. Can Heart Wrencher get the plus power increases from cards like Clamp Press and Fist Pump? Yes. Yep. It's a wrench. Now, if it says a wrench weapon, no. But if it says wrench, yes. So Clamp Press is the crank 2-cost item. When this enters with 2 steam counters, sorry, return remove 1. Wrenches get +2. Fist Pump is banish hyperdriver, target wrench you control, so that can be this, etc., etc. Scara Strapping. Can you use Spell Void on the same arcane damage event that you use Arcane Barrier on by pitching your first card with 6 or more power that turn? Yes. You can AB and then Spell Void.
Yes.
That is a thing you can do. Can I use Embryo-based Vizier to remove multiple steam counters from all of my hyperdrivers to prevent arcane damage from a single event? No. It only triggers once per event. So you can't just suck up all of the hyperdriver counters to prevent that much. So, but it does have AB1, so you can AB and use the Steam event. Those are both things you can do. We're not going to talk about Lunar Mirage because that's dumb. That's Watery Grave stuff. Don't care. Does cheating Scoundrels Effect allow me to win all wagers if I do not hit with an attack that has multiple wagers? That's a no.
Just one.
Just one. You only get the one rager. Rager. I wish we had more than one rager.
You only get one rager.
One rager. Will Blessing of Bologna trigger and create a courage token when it's put into soul by its own effect? Yes. Similar to Merciful Retribution, it sees itself and does the thing. So if you put it into your soul, like you have the aura down, and then at the start of your turn you put this into your soul, create the courage. If my opponent's first life gain effect is replaced by Poison the Well, then they have another life gain effect later that turn. Can Vestige of Flagellation replace it? Yes. Yes. You can do the thing because the first time an opponent would gain life, they did not gain life.
Right.
So now we're back to the first time they would gain life. So...
And then if you Poison the Well a second time, you can still Vestige the third time.
You sure can. You can stack this all the way up. The Wax and Wane, if you control a blue aura with ward, can I target with both modes on Wax and Wane, which is choose one or both, put a +1 counter on target blue aura, put a +1 counter on target aura with ward you control? Yes, you can. This is a fun one. If Havoc Wrap is tapped, will cards cost less to play for all players in the game? It sure does. Yes. Yep.
Symmetrical effect.
Be real careful how you're playing your Havoc Wrap. Just gonna go ahead and say that. Or
don't.
I'm not your... Yeah, it's true. I'm not your dad.
It's chaos for a reason.
That's right. If I look at the top card of my deck, will Topsy-Turvy put that card on the bottom? No. Looking is different than putting, so they're two different effects. And then my personal favorite, What happens if both my opponent and I have line crossers equipped? Line crossers are if you have the same health as a hero, it also counts as you having more health than them and them having less health than you. If both you and your opponent have line crossers equipped and you both have the same life as each other, both players will meet any condition that evaluates having more or less than the other. Again, symmetrical effects. In this case, so things like Big Bully, Clinch the Upper Hand, any of the brute actions that care about you having more life than your opponent. You have more life, you have less life, and you have the same life all at the same time. It is Schrodinger's line at that point. So, it's all the things. And that's about it. Down and Dirty, but...
I didn't remember seeing Down and Dirty in the reprise.
It's not.
Oh, okay.
No. God damn it. Sure. What was our next thing? Ooh, yeah, Nerd Rage. So again, reminding of the Nerd Rage event on March 13th through 15th. There is a 5K Silver Age Path to the Pro Tour event, effectively a showdown. On Saturday, so PTI is the top 2, gold foil to the winner. Playmats, things. I'm trying to get confirmation on whether or not tournament packs are included for this event. Once I have that information, I'll let everybody know. But plus, there's also a Classic Constructed ProQuest on Sunday. The link for this is in the show notes. It's in the northern suburbs of Illinois, Elmhurst. Why am I saying things when I don't know for sure? Let me just look it up, because why would I just guess at it when I have the entire internet in front of me?
I don't know. That's a good question, actually. Why would you?
Why would I do that? NRGevents.gg is actually where you need to go. Upcoming conventions. Here we go. Elmhurst, Illinois. There you go. So northern suburbs of Chicago. It's in 31 days. So March 13th through 15th. There's also Riftbound and Magic if you were so interested. So make sure that you're taking a look at everything that's on offer in there. But definitely 2 big Flesh and Blood events. I will be playing in both. So as per always, if you're there, come say hi. I like that. It's good when people say hi. Now then, this one came today. So as per always, we are on the cutting edge of all news because we're lazy and didn't want to record last night. But Battlegrounds and what they are has been announced. So Battlegrounds were announced at London with a tease. And then all the information for what Battlegrounds are came today. So they are a store-level Tier 2 event, premium event. So they require level 2 judges. They require their comp REL, require decklist, basically like a ProQuest. They have gold foils for first place. And unlike ProQuest, these come with a PTI.
Ooh.
Not a ProQuest, not a Pro Tour, not a invite to a specific Pro Tour. There are cold foils in the kit to the top 4. Rainbow foil, probably extended arts. They really don't spell it out in the top 8. And then there are also tournament packs available that are there for everybody. So essentially just a better ProQuest that will rerun outside of the ProQuest seasons. Very good offer, I think, especially in like local markets. They do require 32 players to fire. And really, LSS is looking, it's in the retailer FAQ on this, but they're looking for stores or venues that can seat, 100-ish players. So they kind of expect this to be I think these are designed to be like the replacement for standalone Battle Hardens.
I was just about to say, to me, it feels like, we've seen several times in the past where stores have wanted to run their own events. Like the Nerd Rage thing is a great example, right? We know that they're having good Flesh and Blood events, and in the past, sometimes LSS has worked with those local game stores to do like a special Battle Hardened, if you will. Right. And this gives them the opportunity to do that, a bit more consistently, and also have like its own marketing alongside it, and with the understanding that yes, it's bigger event, but it is still like a store level event, that sort of thing, as opposed to the showdowns that we're transitioning to after the callings.
Yep. So it seems like Battlegrounds will kind of replace the standalone Battle Hardens, while showdowns become the Sunday event at callings.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good change ultimately. Putting things back at the LGS level, I think is helpful to find out where where the LGSs that are truly committed are. So I think this is a win for everybody, honestly. But we'll see. We'll see how the application process is for stores and stuff like that. There are some locales that might have issues with getting level 2 judges. There are exemptions, I think, if I remember reading the FAQ right, to apply to have level 1s run it, but they want level 2 judges to be running these.
Right.
I think it's time to go to listener questions. What do you think?
Yeah.
All right. Well, first one's from Polish Guy Rich. We're not answering the fucking face-off question. No one will understand what we're talking about. But I will answer this one.
It's a film starring Nicolas Cage and John Travolta.
Yeah, it's true. Please explain the inclusion of Rusted Relic in Antiquities packs. And please explain how it's not funny or a troll or fucking hilarious. Also, I'm glad to own a playset from my case. That's definitely going to be my playset. You don't need to worry about that. But I think that you're looking for generics that are not seen much outside of their original set printing. There are some decks that would want to play stuff like Rusted Relic, things like Teklavasin, or other things that can take advantage of items or do things with items. I don't think it's a troll. I think it's a shit, the sheet is this. We need one more generic. What's something that we haven't printed in a while? There's this super rare from Arcane Rising that hasn't been printed since.
Or what if this is them pre-printing it, knowing something coming in the future?
Highly possible.
So that when that happens, people aren't like, how do I get a hold of this thing that was printed one time forever ago and nobody kept because it was garbage at the time? And then they're like, actually, we just reprinted it.
I've kept several of those. But yeah, it could be that, honestly, pretty easily. So
it's my tinfoil hat theory.
Yeah, I mean, you wear your tinfoil hat with
my
pride.
Rusted tinfoil hat.
Uh-huh. Okay. Next one's from El Dorte. What are your feelings for Pen? Does it do something exciting for Sage and Classic Constructed? Any new heroes on the horizon for you guys to play? Darick, go first.
I mean, my feelings for Pen are that Pen good, write well.
Pen 15 better?
Jokes aside, though, I think that it is exciting enough for both Sage and CC. I'm actually very impressed with the power level of the commons and rares that we're getting that will still be very playable at a Classic Constructed level. I've talked about the assassin ones and Arachne in particular, but I just kind of think across the board there are a lot of cards that are not maybe slam dunk brand new staples like always an automatic 3 of, but there's enough where you look at them and you say this could be playable in the right meta. And I think that honestly that is good enough when you're talking about like commons and rares for a game. Here's the thing that always gets me about Flesh and Blood, right? Because we don't have like true rotation stuff, because we're an eternal format, sometimes you don't need a set full of cards that are just going to like immediately power creep the old ones. You just need things that will become playable when the time is right. And so that might not be right now, or it might be right now. But as long as you can look at something and say, I see a use for that, I can understand where it was, I think that's good enough. And that's the majority of the set. even like some of the Majestics, I think are great inclusions. I think that the reprints are going to be very well received. I think things are good. The last piece of this question, any new heroes on the horizon for you guys to play? I've said it a few times. Hala is kind of growing on me as we see more with the sharpen mechanic. So I actually might try my hand at warrior for it would be the first time playing warrior since I started the game. My very first armory ever, I played Bolton, and I got
your ass handed to you.
My ass handed to me, and
on a platter.
I never picked up warrior again. That's just it. But Hala, I actually think looks really cool. The sharpen mechanic has me at least intrigued enough that I will consider giving that a go. And I think that they are slowly teasing some sort of new Shiana, and I might give that a try when that happens.
Yeah, new Shiana happening would be a thing. For me, I think that Compendium is... It landed. It definitely does what I think it intends to do. It reinvigorates some heroes that have either never been good or have been good in the past. Things like Fi, which I plan on dusting off my Cold Foil Emberblade and going to work again. I feel like it Sage itself, I think we talked about this before too, but Sage feels a lot like, or it looks like it plays similar to old Blitz before Blitz sort of got grew past its usefulness to a degree. And I'm with you on Hala. If Kasai feels as bad as she does right now, and it's not great, it might be time to just be, all right, different warrior. We're just becoming warrior at that point. Although I do love a good rune blade, but I honestly think that this is. I think that this is the first set since probably Rosetta that really pushed me in a direction of I want to do a thing now that I wasn't doing before. And because Rosetta, I really liked the way that Aurora was prior to Skyward Serenade, and that entire thing. I really enjoyed playing powered down Aurora. And so probably since Rosetta, this is the first time that I've been like, this is tickling my fancy to do some different things. I want to play Chaos. I want to make sure I give Hala a try when she's out. I want to, I want to go back to the well with Fi. I used to play a ton of Fi. I played a ton of Syndra. I like Ninja in general. I mean, hell, even the, become the bowl, whichever one is that lets you name something, had me thinking through Katsu again and Katsu lines. So, again, it does a lot for getting the creative juices flowing, and I think that's because it's a supplemental set. And yeah, I've been banging the drum for over a year that we needed to go back to supplemental sets, and I feel pretty vindicated in that opinion. Bottle become the. It
was going to drive me nuts. I was like, no, it's not that.
Bowl, bottle, same thing. They're both used to smoke marijuana. Moving on. Next one's from Marowak. Hey, a fat post, third time asking, still unable to pick either of you out from a lineup. Huh. With Florin's incredible run at the calling ending in 22nd, Florin Christian Logan, with the 5 pre-constructed Silver Age deck, so story behind that, he got if I remember correctly, he got the Phi deck during the world premiere, went, this is kind of busted, I think I could win a calling with this. And then proceeded to finish 22nd with an unaltered 5 precon. Do you think the community overreacted somewhat to the initial spoil of the decks? Well, it might be questionable if someone can achieve the same route with Icelander or Dory. To me, it seems pretty clear it's probably more to do with those heroes themselves and the skill or luck of the pilot rather than how the decks were constructed. Even if 22nd isn't the top 8 result people wanted from these, 22nd out of like 760 players that are calling on a precon is insane, especially compared to previous precons. So context is key, as per always. And there was always, in the old Magic days, there was always they made like these arsenal decks, or these standard precons and also modern precons. And so the hard mode goal was always win with this, unaltered, out of the box. And people would do well and get close, depending on their skill level. Foreign Christian Logan is a fucking gamer. And putting the 5 precon in his hands and Flora being able to get to a 22nd place finish, I don't think is a repudiation of the community's disappointment in the precon decks. At the same time, it is slightly a vindication of LSS's position that these are good out of the box. Win a calling good? Not yet. But I think that Florin's run proves that these are a good floor. And that's important.
My thought is that the finish has no bearing or impact on my assessment, which is, yes, I do think that there was an overreaction from the community, and I will bank on that solely because my experience has always been that if the decision is, or the choice is, are gamers overreacting or not,
just choose the overreact.
I'm gonna take the overreact.
Yeah,
I think honestly the real answer is not going to be solved by one event. I mean, no. I say that about our top 8 results when we get those all the time, and I think that holds fine here. Like, is it great that somebody did that well with a precon? Absolutely. It is also one event. So I'm not going to say yes or no based on the results, but if somebody was like, hey, you have to place your wager or put your input in, I'm always going to err on gamers overreacting.
Yeah. I think that is incredibly fair. I mean, there's always been the joke that if you hand a card player $100 bill, you're at least 50% that they're going to complain about how it's folded. So, yeah, a lot of this does make sense. But that being said, I feel like we're not quite there for these were actually good enough and LSS was completely in the right. But I do feel like it is much closer to that than it was previously.
I'll say this, actually. I think that the most important bit to come out of all of this that might be in LSS's favor for that statement about, like, hey, you could get one of these and, punch your ticket to the Pro Tour, as it were, is the announcement of these, tier 2 store events.
Sure.
Because, is it likely you're going to take a precon and win a calling? No. But is it possible to take a precon and show up to an event that's got, somewhere between 30 and 60 people? Sure.
Yeah.
Stranger things have happened.
It's true. Next one is from Muse Josh. You may already be doing this for the cast topic, but if not, using only the results of the London Calling, thank you for the Clash reference, as a guide, make 3 ban-unban bench decisions each to shape Silver Age for the better. Start there. So, ban. What are you banning? Man, this is taking a while for you.
I mean, it's tough just because, like, I think representation was fine, and I don't want to be too heavy-handed. My knee-jerk reaction is still probably either something Runeblader or something Guardian. Like, I know that Guardian didn't have nearly the representation, but just in sheer raw numbers, I still feel like they have one too many block cards. And that's me saying that as a Guardian player.
Yeah.
So it'd be something in that vein. I mean, my short answer would be one of the, 4 blocks.
Yeah.
Honestly, probably the generic one.
Sure. I think my answer is Decimator Great Axe, and not because I specifically hate the card. It's because it does make Warrior have just one identity. It makes it so that your hero text is irrelevant for the most part. And not a fan of Warrior identity just being nothing. So that would be my knee-jerk, thought is basically Decimator Great Axe.
I hear you, and the only reason that wasn't my choice is because I would say that so many Warriors playing Decimator is not, this is my opinion, mind you, but I don't think that it's because Decimator is so good that the other options are bad. I think it's that the other options don't have enough support to warrant trying something else. And taking away Decimator, I don't think suddenly makes the other stuff that much better because it was already not good enough now, right?
Yeah, you would definitely need print support plus,
Right, and so that's, to me, I would say I wouldn't want to ban it today because I think it just needs more support, right?
But like when the Halad deck comes out, as an example.
Sure.
Yeah. Next one is unban. Unban something.
I don't know that I want to unban something.
The only card I want to unban because of my bench decision.
Drone of Brutality.
Get fucked. Fuck off into the sun. Absolutely not. What is the worst possible answer? That one. There it is. We did it, folks.
Quite literally the worst.
Absolutely not. No. You can unban Plunder Run, Ball Lightning, fuck Print Storm Striders at Rare before you unban Drone of Brutality in a format like this. No. Christ. Just even thinking of it just fucking makes me shiver. My answer, a real answer, is actually Vest of the First Fist. And the reason Vest of the First Fist is my answer is because I own 3 gold foils of it.
It's because you have so many.
The other reason is because I would bench Briar. I think Briar is the most likely to abuse Vest of the First Fist, first off. Briar's tension right now is that it can be a very resource-pinched deck. But it's very common for Briar to leak a point of damage or 2 on some go-again attacks, which makes Vest resources kind of busted. And you get to do multiple things that you otherwise wouldn't necessarily been able to do. So I think that, and maybe it's too good for Fi too. I have not experienced that yet. But when I was messing around with Vest in Briar in Project Blue, it was like, okay, this is really good. And then it was like, this is banned. I'm like, yeah,
that makes sense.
That makes sense. Although the gold foils sitting on my desk are still worthless. So great.
Cube.
I have to build a cube pretty specific for Vest of the First Fist though.
Do you though?
Yeah. Yeah. It's not better than so many other options. So, oh well. Maybe I'll replace one of the chess pieces that are sitting in Runeblade Cube with Vest and see what happens. But, what are you benching? Who's going to the bench? Who's going to the penalty box? Enigma?
Yeah.
Really?
I've seen Dark Odious on Enigma. That's enough.
So we're blaming Noah.
Yeah, 100%. Literally, I had the realization of
you should text Noah right now.
There's another format where I could theoretically be paired into Noah on an Illusionist. No, I'm done.
Text him that now.
I should.
Right now. But Jesus, that's still funny though. Secondary question. Who is the best hero in each class for Silver Age using literally whatever metric for best you want to apply, and feel free to make it fluid from hero to hero. Okay. So let's take classes, starting alphabetically. Assassin. I'll defer to you on this one. I think it's got to be solitary confinement, but
So I'm very torn. It's between solitary confinement and Uzuri.
sure.
I think solitary probably has the more consistent game plan, but I don't think that people respect Death Touch with Dominate enough yet. And I think that there is a lot of room there. I've only just started messing around with her in Silver Age, but if you're somebody who's like, hey, I like playing, Flattering Showman, but I want to try something not Guardian, it's very similar. I will say that if anything, that's the biggest knock, is that Flattering Showman is probably just outright better, but that's not an assassin thing, right? If we're talking just assassins, Uzuri's pretty strong for what she wants to do, but I think you're right. I think it's probably solitary confinement just on raw numbers.
Brute, I think it's KO. Like, results are just showing us that it's KO. KO is the most consistent Brute because everything's a 6.
Yeah.
And it only cares about 6s. I think that one's pretty easy. There's no classes that start with C, right? None that start with C, none that start with D, none that start with E, F, G, H, I, Illusionist. It's probably Enigma. Just theoretically, just kind of speaking from a spot of
I think
contempt.
that if the meta wasn't so filled with decks that can go wide incredibly easily,
I forgot Guardian,
then
by the
I
way.
would
So let's come
say maybe Dromai, but
yeah. So Guardian was the one I forgot about, which shocking. But
Guardian is Flattering Showman.
Is it?
I do. I think Showman is better than
you don't think it's Oldham?
It's between those two, but I think Flattering Showman ekes it out.
The Dominate is just too good.
I think so, yeah. It's
Okay.
it's Dominate and, right? If it was just
Right,
Dominate,
sure.
but it's Dominate and I think that's what separates it. I think in this format right now, as an overall role, the offense is still better than the defense. And the 2 that Oldham gets on defense, I don't think is as good as the 2 that Bravo Flattering Showman gets on offense. Because the Showman thing usually also means that your on hits connect, which is super relevant.
Okay. Did Guardian, did Illusionist, Mechanologist?
Ooh.
This is a complicated one. I think it's probably Dash Database because Boom Grenade is legal.
Yeah, I was just going to say it's literally Boom Grenade that I think pushes it over for me.
Yeah, I think that's my answer.
The next 2 classes, I think the answer is the same for both.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So next class is Ninja.
No, next class is Necromancer.
Oh, it's Necromancer.
And I forgot about Ninja. I was going in my head Necromancer Pirate.
That's just gravy because
I think
that's
it's
it.
gravy.
No, I think Scurv actually might be the answer.
I think
in
gravy.
Pirate.
I think gravy is still better than Scurv. Personally.
All right, but Ninja.
Okay. My hot take is that I think it's Ira.
I still think it's Fi. I think that Fi's toolbox is really good for Silver Age.
Yeah.
And Searing Emberblade is potentially the best available weapon in Silver Age.
I would agree with that. Probably, yeah.
So I think that's why.
I just The only reason that my hot take is Ira is because of the ninjas. I think she's the most flexible. I think that there's like 4 different ways you can play Ira, even still in Silver Age.
Yeah, we're not going to give any run to Merchant because,
Well, I mean, the answer to that is Genus anyway.
Why not Cavdane?
Because it's not Genus.
Okay, good enough.
Because it's not Iswardi.
Oh, yeah. The Iswardi drip does actually win on Merchant. Same thing with Bard. There's Melody and I think just Melody is the only one legal. So, or is she even legal? I actually don't think she's legal. But there might not be a legal Bard. So then we did Necromancer. We go to Ranger.
I think it's Lexi.
I think it's Lexi, especially Death Dealer Lexi is such a beating. It's just hard to beat that what Lexi can do. Azalea is also very good, and wouldn't be surprised to start seeing one of those.
Post Compendium, I think Riptide has a lot of legs.
Yeah, that's definitely a thing.
Like, there's people packing AB and whatever, but his essentially like free damage that's incredibly hard to mitigate otherwise is getting so many more tools for triggering it. I actually think that Riptide post Compendium is scary, but right now, today, as we're making this list, I think it's Lexi.
Sure. Runeblade. Now, are we talking about legal Runeblades? Because that's Briar. If we're talking about Runeblades that will eventually be legal again, it's probably Chain. But, so it's kind of 2 answers. But I would say Runeblade, it's Briar right now. Warrior, they're all the same. So it doesn't matter. We'll just say Dorinthia because that was the one with the best results. But they're pretty homogenous at this moment. So.
All right, so here's my hot take. I think it's Bolton.
You're wrong.
And here's my argument for it.
Go for it.
They're all the same and they're all playing Decimator, but he has a bigger card pool than the others. So if the arguments are all the same, then
he has the same card pool as Fang.
No, there's way more light cards.
Are you sure?
Let's.
There are a ton of light cards. There's also a ton of draconic cards.
All right. Let me come in here for. No, that's.
We're doing it live, kids, because that's how we do this.
I want.
Talent Draconic. So if we go to Fabrary and we go to.
Well, so first. Not counting like. Why? No, stop. I wanted both. I'm trying to do. I want to see specifically Light Warrior versus Draconic Warrior first. Because that also matters.
So class, warrior, specialization, not specialization, type is draconic. There we go, my talent. So warrior, draconic, legal in Silver Age. So go. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, you have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 draconic warrior cards.
Legal in Silver Age. Yep.
So then we take
13. So we have 13.
So legal in Silver Age. And these are going to be light. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. V for the Vanguard's legal. Holy shit.
Right?
But now we go to just light cards, legal in Silver Age.
Wait, how many was that total, though?
19.
19. Okay.
So legal in Silver Age. And now we got to filter these to just be light only. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 light only. And then we'll go to draconic only. In which case you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Looks like 30.
30 just draconic cards that are legal in Silver Age.
Mm-hmm. Not counting equipment.
Right, not counting equipment.
On either side.
Wow. Is that like counting compendium stuff? Because when I searched this on February, I did not have that many.
It has compendium stuff in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is with compendium.
Well, that doesn't count. That's future state.
Shut up. We're talking about future state because the next event, compendium's always been legal in Silver Age. So, yeah, it's 30 and 13 versus 19 and 13, right?
Yeah.
So I win by 1?
Should be more than 1, but again, stand by what I said. It's Bolton.
Fine, but
Bolton has a bigger card pool than the other warriors that don't use daggers like cowards.
See, I can't argue that. Like, I can't argue against that point. Daggers are for cowards. Last class is wizard. I think it's got to be Kano right now, right?
Does it?
Yeah.
My hot take is it's Icelander.
She just doesn't have enough. Most of Icelander's really good stuff to fuck with you is Majestic, and there's no waning moon. So she's real neutered.
Yeah, it's not looking great for her.
So I think it's Kano. But
so future state when she gets waning moon back. Since we're allowed to talk about future state. Then I
don't think it's ever happening. I don't think that's ever happening. Waning moon is actually too good.
What do you think will happen first? Waning moon in Silver Age or Duskblade in CC?
Oh, fuck. I think they're both nevers. But the scale of never, I think you'd see Waning Moon in Silver Age before you'd see Duskblade in CC. Just... It's Duskblade's too much. Last question's from Pippin42. What champ would recommend for Sage? I'm a player that enjoy Genus and Melody and Blitz and Huntsman and Betsy and CC. I like mini games like Wager and top or bottom a card. Go. Fuck it. I'm out on this shit. This is you.
I mean, the answer is easy. It's Huntsman.
Because of the topping and bottoming?
Well, no, because they said they like Huntsman and CC. Like, you can't say Genus and Melody. Like...
So it's solitary confinement, right? Or no, Huntsman's contract. So it's just Arachne.
It's just Arachne, right?
Yeah.
So I would just say, just Arachne, aka Huntsman, but in Silver Age. There's, like, if I'm being honest, like, yes, the really powerful contracts are gone, but all your bread and butter contracts that are the, like, 0 for 4s and whatever, they're still playable. Compendium had two very playable new contracts added, in my opinion. So
And
we also
Shred
got
is legal.
we got the silver minigame, the Graven equipment.
Oh yeah,
right.
Mm-hmm.
So if Huntsman's something you like, then I would do that. Just understand your playing fatigue, and do it accordingly. But
All right, fair enough. Let's thank some patrons and get out of here. It's been an hour and a half. We've done our work. I'd like to thank our associate producers, Andy, associate producer emeritus, Sindra, Anthony, Ejor, Jacob, Aladoris, Octothorctopus, Sofsky, Heiner, Sleep Coma, and then our executive producers on up. We have Blaze Storm, valued member of the Patreon, Diana, the Green Cosplayer, John, Charlie, our Possum supporter, the Delusian data analyst, and then our Chargers Chamber of Charcoal participants, Vintox18. He should be on the show next week. Matt, you need to let me know when you want to come on. Brandon, same story. Hammer, you're almost in for a second appearance, and then 2 weeks from now we will have our ceiling fan, Polish guy Rich, back on the show to, talk shit about something. I'm sure, maybe the Cleveland Browns. Who knows?
And we're the Cleveland Browns.
But if you're interested in supporting the show and becoming a member of the Patreon, you can go to patreon.com/fleshandpod. Link is in the show notes. There are some number of paid tiers. Pick one. We'll start doing After Darks again. It's just been a fucking nightmare lately. And getting things scheduled has been difficult across the board. Hell, it's a miracle we do this every week. But we will start doing that. Plus, I have a few people on this list. Specifically, so the Hammer has told me that he'll only accept his playmat in person. So I have to take that to Europe. And which is a cheeky little shit, but okay. And then Delusian data analyst, I do have your contact information, so I'll get that out to you. I did not prior, I don't believe. But either way, so I'll get those out to people. Get it out to our data analyst. And then I have to fly to Europe to deliver a playmat, so sure. If you need to contact the show, you can send us an email at fleshandpod@gmail.com. It is a real email address, not a bit. You can also find us on BlueSky. Just search Flesh and Pod. Best thing to do is just join our Discord. It is free. You can just join. It's fine. Links in the show notes. Just come hang out. It's fun. We do weird shit. We talk a lot of weird shit. There's some opt-in only channels that get dark sometimes. But if you want to keep on the lighter side, don't opt in to Kierkegaard's Corner. Just avoid that section like the plague. Where can they find you, Darick?
In the brand new
Kayfabe with KO?
KO channel.
Listen. I haven't talked wrestling at all this episode.
Right. I know.
I've done great. You've done great too.
I know. It's mostly because I have watched zero of Raw so far.
I've watched like half.
But I know that I'm supposed to look for Polish guy, so.
Yes. Gotta look for Rich and Gus in the crowd. Haven't quite spotted them yet. There's been a couple of pans to that side, but had not caught them yet. I think that's it. I think I'm ready to go. I might actually be missing an episode soon.
That's fine.
Because I believe the episode on the 7th and 8th, or that weekend of whatever, March. Is that a month? I will be in Arizona, and I don't think I plan on taking anything with me. I'm gonna have to find a replacement host. I will finally have missed an episode after 4 years and change. That my personal streak will be gone. So
I need you to really think about exactly who you want to leave me with.
I have options. And some of them are way funnier than others. but I do have options.
Okay.
And I am looking forward to exercising some of these options. And I'll even open it up. If anybody, in the community is listening and like, you know what, I think I can pilot an episode, or I can sit co-pilot while Charmer drags me through an episode. You just let me know. Oh, Darick, I see that look.
I may have ideas as well.
Well, we'll talk off air because I don't want to give away any surprises. But, well, thank you everybody for listening. Thank you for watching. And yeah, we'll talk to you next week. Bye.